it came around. Everything we made changes with, tire pressure, two-step, and boost, it responded to, and it liked it. Liked it real well.
Fast. Wow. So what's your review on this intake manifold? Because I was showing a lot of guys this manifold online.
I've heard a lot of guys say that it makes noise, that it rattles and hums or whatever, you know, it vibrates. I think that I had my friend weld a bung in the back to pick up vacuum or whatever for a brake booster. And when he did it, he re-welded that, and it may have corrected that. And the other thing is, when you set this on the manifold, it doesn't seal. It flat doesn't seal. The bottom of the flange hits the bolts that hold the heads in, the 5 that are across the top, and wouldn't allow the manifold to seat. So I sat it on there and just scrubbed it back and forth to etch the powder coating. And then I took a die grinder and just grind out those little grooves to set it down on there. Then that thing was set flat down on there and sealed the intake. But I found that out before I started the motor, so.
Good.
That may have why I got it on a trade.
Well, you're winning now, literally and figuratively. So she's running good. What, last year? No, this year, you wrecked it?
Yeah, I wrecked the front end with no brakes.
No
Crashed
brake.
it, pushed all of it was crushed back in. And I just remade this so I can take the front end off. I'm still working on a front bumper. I'm probably gonna get one from a place up in Cleveland. And
What's your opinion? What's your opinion on like intercooler piping size? I know a lot of guys think they need 3-inch, and
I don't know. I hate to say how fast I am, but I'm below 10 and a 2.5-inch pipe, and I coasted across the finish line. I shut it off.
so 3-inch is not really necessary.
Yeah, it depends. If you're going 1,000 horsepower, it may be. I'm not at 1,000 horsepower, but that's plenty for what I got. eBay intercoolers are good. That's an eBay intercooler. Yeah, eBay blow-off valve, eBay wastegate. I mean,
And it works.
they work. I mean, you have to go through and make sure they're right. Get any of the.
It's a tile too. It's nice.
It's a tile knockoff. It's not
Oh.
a true tile, I don't believe, because it's $40. So
No,
Don't think
probably
it's
not
a
a real,
tile.
not a real tile. Close.
it
Looks
might
like
be
one.
spelled wrong or something. Yeah, I don't know. It looks like it's spelled right. So
Wow. But you did, right?
yeah,
Couplings?
Yeah, couplings.
Wow.
That was nice when we put this in here. We basically had a 90-degree, and it comes right into the intercooler. We didn't have to do any extra piping or nothing. It's right off the turbo, 90, and into the intercooler.
That's real nice. And then what do you think about these manifolds, these Hooker, Holley turbo manifolds?
I was one of the early ones to get them, I believe. They're fine. A lot of guys say they track the crossover because I got the Holley crossover for Turbo 350. I think that what they're doing is when they're putting it on, they're letting that thing dangle at the flex joint, and they're letting it. No, you need to support both ends if you have to have a second guy hold it up, because yes, it's a pain to put up there, but that's where they're cracking it. I haven't had an issue. It's 2 years.
Looks good. I mean, it's not real bulky or anything.
Yeah, his motor's dirty right now, but it's been in for. Well, it's been a turbo car for 2 years.
I've heard some new names for it. I never.
Right. Yeah, well, I think it's because of the where you pointed at your opponent.
Yeah, that's funny. But do you think you could run a regular exhaust in this car, like run the
I
downpipe?
believe I got enough room to send it right down through that little hole right down through there. And I might have to do the NASCAR deal, so to make it round, making it oval. But I think it'd fit right down there, and I can run it clear back to the back.
A lot of guys think they have to do this setup. This is just the easiest setup.
Yeah.
This is the short, the what they call it, the path of least resistance.
Yep.
So
Because now when I wrecked it, I nosedived in, and this control arm did come up, and this bolt here came up, and there's a dent right there in the exhaust manifold or exhaust pipe. But under normal conditions, it does not come close to that at all. Travel. Because it bent the shock and everything on that side.
and then do you think, is this a name brand fuel pressure regulator? Or?
Yeah, I believe that's a Aeromotive.
Oh, okay. So that's the real one.
Yeah. You got to put the EFI spring in it. Because I think it comes with 2 springs. There's one for carbureted and there's one for EFI. You put the EFI one, the gas one in there, only go like 15, 20 pounds.
Okay, for carbureted.
So you put the other one in, you can get, I run it right at 60.
So I know you said you bought the crossover. Did you get the kit with both of their manifolds or just?
Yeah, I got both their manifolds and the crossover.
Oh, okay, I didn't see this one over here. So it was just plug and play pretty much.
Yeah, we started making ours, and yeah, everybody, you can make them. I agree, you can make them, put flanges on them. Yes, you can weld them. Yes, you can do all that. When it was all said and done, we made 3 of them. We didn't like any of them, so I pitched them and bought them. You know, I'm not saying we're great at it, but we just kind of stood back and looked at it, says, you know, for the amount of time and money that we've already spent, I could have bought those.
Right. And these look good and they work.
Yes.
And they're fast. So, Dirty Dingo. This is very similar to my, I have the ICT billet version of that.
And it's a LS1 water pump.
Oh, okay. So this is the LS1 water pump.
Right, with the spacer, the 3/4 inch spacer between the block and the pump. And that's where I run the return to the steam vent. There's a fitting right there, so you don't have to drill the water pump or nothing.
Oh, okay.
And it allows you to then run the truck harmonic balancer.
Man, that's a lot of information there. I hope you guys captured all that. And straight into the water pump so you don't have to.
Run across the manifold or drill into.
Keeps it clean. Because it's going right into that port.
Yep.
So you just drill that port on that spacer and it goes in there.
It comes already built.
Oh, it's already like that?
With the fitting.
Oh, wow. That's
I think it came
cool.
with a 90-degree fitting. I might have changed it. I don't know.
It's a short 90, it looks
It's a
like.
short 90, yeah. Or maybe it came with straight and I put a 90 on it or something, but.
Wow. So if you want to clean up your engine later on, you can use this with the truck though, right? The truck.
Yeah, that's for the truck too.
Okay. Yeah. So only thing that you had to convert was just that spacer. You still have the truck harmonic balancer?
I didn't have to do anything.
Wow.
Just the water pump spacers and that was it. Everything else is. I ran the same setup in the square body. This is my install procedure for a rocker.
That's it.
And then if you take a torque wrench, you'll see that's probably close to 25.
Wow. What about if it's on an exhaust cycle or
Doesn't matter.
intake cycle? It's
Doesn't
all the
matter.
same?
Yeah, there's a lot of guys that tell you got to turn the motor over and only do it when it's up. I guess if you didn't know if you had a good piston to valve clearance, you might want to do that and turn the motor over so you're watching your valve go down and back up. But I've never had an issue.
And then you're sending these out. You said for port and
Send
polish.
mine out to that bench right over there.
Right over there for the port and polish.
Yeah.
Nice. So what's this right here? I don't think mine have this.
What?
This etching. Do
Well,
they?
these, I don't know, probably do. Well, there's more heads up there. Look, does these have it?
They don't. They don't.
These are 243s, so
Okay.
maybe 243s are different.
Yeah. It's,
I don't know if I got any 799s up there or not. Probably do.
that's what I have. 799s. I bought from you on my aluminum.
That's probably why I don't have any more up there, except for
Well, it came on that engine, the 5.3.
Yeah,
So
the 862's piece of port and polish set up there. There probably is a set of 799s up there.
I wonder,
I just grabbed these for my son. He's building that motor over there.
is that the 4.8?
No, that's a 4.8 there.
This is the 4.8 that was for sale when I bought my 5.3.
Yeah,
You still have it?
I still have it. I haven't. I don't advertise.
You still have it?
Watch yourself. Don't touch my
Oh,
connectors.
oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a danger zone.
Yeah, I didn't realize. So, is it still for sale? Or you have a home for it yet?
I don't have a home for it yet.
People are doing good things with 4.8s though. So.
Well, we're gonna get a 5.3 there. We're gonna build, yeah,
Man, you got so
the
many.
aluminum 5.3 we're building.
You like the aluminum ones? No.
You just save a little bit of weight on the nose.
This car has been wrecked, raced again, all in 1 year. Pretty bad. I mean, it wasn't like you wrecked it at the beer dock. It was, you wrecked it at the track.
Yeah, at 130,
Yeah.
no brakes, right into the fence.
It's not a normal accident. That's high speed accident. And man,
Safety equipment, safety equipment.
wow. Man, what do you think was the one thing that like kept this car intact when you hit? Was it these roll bars or?
Oh yeah, we put those on last winter because I was going turbo and stuff. So we went ahead and my friend's a welder and we put the front bars in it, and it cert to 850. We put the dash bar in it, put the drop bars, and put the halo in it. It already had an 8-point cage in it, but now it's a little faster. We wanted more safety.
Will you ever cruise this car?
I can. I mean, since it's turbo, I got a 342 gears. I just put street tires and it idles and drives, get lights and turn signals.
4080 or?
No, it's a turbo 350.
Nice. So you don't have like a kickdown cable or anything, do you?
No, it's a full manual trans brake,
Oh, okay.
reverse pattern.
For my torque converter control, I know you had like a write-up, and I don't know if it's still there. It's still there.
Yeah.
I haven't got to that point yet. I'll probably just look at the write-up later. But y'all just wire that to my brake pedal.
Yes.
Pretty much that's basically what that says. Just wire it to your brake pedal.
But you do not use the same power feed as your brake lights.
Okay.
If brake lights is a normally open switch, it goes closed, it gives power to the lights. The torque converter control is a normally closed. When we put your brakes on, it takes
Then we
power
unlock
away
it.
from the transmission.
Okay. Because when it's closed, it's locked all the time.
Well, it's sending the signal down to the transmission to say, hey, when you get in the tune, it goes through the PCM and says so much throttle position, so much speed. Go ahead and lock the torque converter out.
We'll just figure that out later. I ain't driving it nowhere. When I have you come through or whatever,
You just leave it stock. You don't have to worry about it.
it's, oh, I don't have to deal with that?
Done. Just put your wire, hook your wire up, and you're done.
That's an
Cars
option.
already do it. Cars already do it.
Why did I think that? Oh, it's just an option you put in your harness.
Right. A lot of guys don't do that.
Oh, okay.
I-
I'm definitely not then.
I put it in there, and I think it's harder on the transmission. You don't get that lockup, and you usually drive them on the street, so you want that going down the highway.
Yeah, I'm
To
definitely.
go from 2,000 RPMs to 1,800 or 1,600 RPM, you know.
Yeah.
You drive just like a new Silverado,
Yep.
old Silverados.
I'm gonna leave it just like how it came then. So I only got to plug in the connectors. There's a couple other vehicle speed sensor. That's an option if you want a speedometer.
Electronic speedometer.
Okay, so we'll do the bare bones. But it's there. That's the cool thing about getting a harness here is you do have those options. So it's there if I want it. I don't need it, don't have to have it, but it's there. Well, all right, guys, that's pretty much all the filming I'm going to do for you guys. I mean, this is some good information. I'll probably chop this down. I got to do some business now, so I don't want to get into your business too much, but let me ask you one quick question. What's the cheapest you think someone can build a LS swap? Like if you had to guess, like if you and your buddies got together, you bought some $400 car, you said, let's see how cheap we can build one. What do you think the lowest you could put one together for? And we're just gonna say you spent $500 on the engine.
I think smart shopping fuel system is the most expensive. And depending on what car you buy, if you buy the right car, I think you could LS swap it. If you do your own harness, do your own work, fabricate what you need to fabricate, you can do it for under $500.
Under 500?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's saying reusing exhaust manifolds, reusing exhaust off the car. Your expense is going to be the fuel system, because cars don't have that fuel system support. But your harness, your wiring and stuff, I really believe if I had a clunker in here, if somebody gave me $500 in a month, I could have that thing drive out of here. Because
Wow.
the transmissions, doesn't matter what transmission, you can do turbo 450, turbo 400, $700, 4L60, 480, doesn't matter. You can use all those transmissions. You did your own work. Your biggest expense is fuel lines, fuel pump, fuel filter, and regulator. If you can get all that for less than $500, because you modify your existing tank.
Yeah, you can. A lot of them you can use the existing tank. You just won't have the slosh capabilities. But we're talking cheap, so we don't care about hitting corners at 80.
Well, you can do a slosh tank for less than that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean, if you're sharp, different models have fuel injection. Use the same tank. Junkyard that tank out.
That's true.
You got to get there before they punch a hole in them. But if you
Nice.
call and ask for a tank, you might be able to get one.
That's the lowest price I've heard yet. We do a lot of live streaming. I was thinking maybe I did hear someone on the internet say they did it for $850, but I didn't believe them. So
Yeah, you got to reuse everything, and cherry pick out your car that you're going to put it in. If you have to put suspension on it and brakes and stuff, you can't do it for that. But if you had to just bring it in, set it in here, take stuff out, put a motor in it, and drive it out the door, I think me doing harnesses and harness work, I think I could do it for $500 because you add the money in for the harness and the tune and all that.
right, you can do your tune and stuff. Yeah,
You're spent all your budget.
that's true. Tune and harness. I mean, and especially if you buy one of those like Terminators, you're at
Terminator X are nice, but I think they're too expensive. I mean, they seem, guys like them, and I'd love to get my hands on one and put it in a car and test it and compare it to an existing harness. But if you just wanted a cruiser, because think of the cost. If you want to put a small block Chevy in a car that had a 6-cylinder in it, you're going to have to buy mounts. You're going to have to buy headers. You're going to have to put an exhaust on it. You potentially have to change fuel system to support a 4-barrel carburetor. And after that, when you do an LS swap, what do you got to do? You got to put headers on it. You got to get engine mounts. So the cost becomes equal until you get to the tune and the harness. So if you can do the tune and the harness, it's the same thing as swapping a 6-cylinder for a V8.
right. Yeah, because you can
Fuel
cheap out.
system, cheap out on all that stuff. I made the motor mounts in this because I wouldn't
Wow.
pay $150 at Jags for solid motor mounts for a Gen 3 or Gen 2 Camaro. I was looking at them going, I can weld and I can cut. So if you know how to do that or have a buddy that helps you,
Wow.
I think for the right price, $500 car, $500 for $1,000 plus maybe, you could have a car driving.
And that's a rear-wheel drive car.
Yeah,
That's a rear-wheel drive car, given we're already using the transmission and everything else.
yeah. If you're able to reuse the transmission, man.
I bought a $400 Delta 88 with a 200 R4. My goal after the Regal is done is I have a 5.3 that I bought for $350, another one. It turns over. I don't know if it runs. I never heard it run or anything. My goal is to put that in there as cheap as I can do it. I don't have a welder. It's a big car. Hopefully the truck manifolds shoot down the right path. I don't know if they will. But, if you know friends that weld, you can say, hey, just put this kick on here for me. And
Yeah, if you don't have to buy a motor, you can do it for $500. If you got the motor and you got the car, $500. And if you don't have a motor, probably 750,
Right.
800.
Engines aren't that hard to come by.
Yeah.
Not, I mean, it wasn't hard for me.
Yeah.
Facebook, I mean, I met you on Craigslist.
Yeah, I don't collect them, but I'm down on motors right now, actually. I usually have more in here.
Well, that was the last question. Guys, that was a fun one. We'll do those more often. Talk to you later.